All right, it's been a while since I made the last video. I mean, I've just been playing Arknights Endfield for the past 3 weeks. I think it has been 3 weeks since it came out, if I remember correctly. And I know I'm a little bit late, but I guess I'll just do my dailies while I review it. So, well, first of all, I'll mention that honestly, it's a pretty good game. It met up with all of my expectations. I was following along with the beta test, and I was really excited with the factory gameplay. And I'll show you my factory later. It's not the most optimized, but I did have fun making it at the very least. But yeah, I mean, it's done well. But I can definitely say that there's some aspects that I would probably like if it was improved. I mean, the thing is that, I mean, this is something that a lot of other gacha games also share, but once you cleared out the content, there's genuinely just so little to do. I mean, I'll show you, but I am currently, I think, exploration rank, if it's called in this game, 54, and I have pretty much cleared out everything, but, so right now, I'm just, honestly, not doing anything. I mean, at this point, I don't even really need to get any of the space parts because I have like thousands of them. So I'm honestly just doing this to spend time on this game because once again, this game is really well done. It's really beautiful. You could probably see it just from your own eyes, I guess. But they have done a really good job polishing up this game. If you could see on my screen, I'm actually currently playing on mobile because I realized that, like, unlike other games where it looks significantly worse on mobile compared to PC, this is actually bearable. So now I can just hop on the game basically when I'm out or, when I'm just too lazy to hop on my computer, and it still looks and works perfectly fine. And that's something that I'm really grateful for. And I think it's partially due to the fact that this is actually a Unity game instead of an Unreal Engine game, which most gacha games seems to be using these days. Unreal Engine 4 or 5. I think Wuthering Waves, for example, is using 4. But, I mean, as good as Unreal Engine looks, unfortunately, it is very difficult to optimize. So I'm very glad that they went with something else. But yeah. Though to be fair, I mean, as I mentioned before, it is mainly my fault, to be honest. If I didn't play for like 8 hours a day for the first week that Enfield came out, I would probably have more things to do. But in my opinion, the thing that is most compelling about this game is probably the factory. And honestly, obviously I realize that a lot of people might not agree with this because it's not for everyone, and I get that, but it's just a shame because from my experience, after you basically put down your factory and you maximizes the resources that you're getting, I think I almost have a mine on every ore vein. I do believe Wolfguard's story quest has an ore vein that I'm not getting. I forget which place it is. But other than that, like other than the one from the Wolfguard story, I believe I had placed a vein in some miners on every vein. And that includes Wu Lane. So I'm already pretty much using up all my resources, and I can't really expand my factory even if I want to. I mean, obviously, I will say that I started doing my factory before I really understood what was happening. I didn't ratio properly, so for packaging units and stuff like that, that requires, I believe, 15 and 10 items every 10 seconds. For the 15 items, I'm only actually passing in 10 every 10 seconds, so it's not full efficiency. So I guess I could probably spend some time pretty much destroying my entire factory, to maybe fix that. But you know, it's not the greatest. Like it's not, you know, honestly at this point I'm just too lazy. But at the same time I want to interact with the factory more, so I guess that's a shame. Ooh, let's get this one first. But yeah, I really hope that Enfield continues to explore on this factory aspect. I think it's a really unique concept. I mean, obviously there are games like Factorial and Satisfactory. I have not played Satisfactory, and I have played a bit of Factorial. And you know, if you do it well, like it can be really satisfying. The thing about factories is that like you can automate them to make things on your behalf when you're offline, and it's just so nice to see things just moving along and working out well. So that is, yeah, I mean, like once again, I really enjoyed this game. I think they have done some great job making it. Should I get these? I might as well. Not that I really need them, honestly. But yeah. Though, if I do have to say some complaints, I would maybe say the combat, because although I do enjoy like having all of these characters on field at the same time, it's a new mechanic. It's just really annoying how like it just feels repetitive, I guess. I mean, I'm obviously not a huge like mechanics player. I don't know what I'm doing besides the basic rotations, which you just repeat over and over again. I have beaten all of the bosses after like at level 90. I forget where you check it. I guess I have to beat them first. But yeah. So Index, Recrisis, like I've beaten them. So it's not like I haven't really explored it. Obviously I'm not a great player, once again, but I really don't think there's a lot of depth in the combat right now. It's just mainly basic attacking on the character that you're on field. And kind of just wait until skill points come back so you can do your combo. You know, it looks nice, I guess, but I definitely think they could make it better. I see some potential. Like once again, I really enjoy the fact that this game really makes you feel like you're in a team. You know, you're not just switching between characters. You actually have all of them at the same time. You can see them on the field, and they can actually help you. One thing that I noticed is that these AIs are actually pretty, I mean, I wouldn't say they're smart, you know, like they have done some stupid things, but they help you find chests, they pick things up for you, they help you mine ores, and all of those things, you know, it's a nice quality of life thing, and it's just nice. It just feels like you're playing with friends, even though you don't, like, they're not real. Yeah, I know, it's a shame, but I think it's a nice touch. But it does limit, because at least in other games you could switch, and like that's a part of the gameplay, like quick swaps and stuff. But I don't really think that's something that you would want to do here, because it really doesn't impact much. The AIs are smart enough to dodge for the most part, not perfectly, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I definitely would like to see more improvements to the combat, though I don't really know how feasible that is. Alright, I guess this would also be related. Oh yeah, look, they're breaking the ores for me and picking it up. But I guess this is also related. The banner. I feel like the banner is... the system is pretty good, I would say. I mean, generally, for most gacha games that I play, I aim to save for 160 pulls anyways, because I'm not really the kind of person who gets lucky and win my 50-50, so if I really want a character, I would save. So having to save less is definitely good. But then again, I also do understand the frustrations of some people, because there are times where I'm just like, I don't really know who I want, you know? I want to like, okay, I'm fine with this character, but I might be also fine with the next character, and I don't really know who I want. Or if I'm between two characters, like this game kind of forces you to pick one, and you know, you can't just like say I'm building pity, or like, which is, I will admit, is not a super smart thing to do, but I understand. the sentiment, I guess. Or you can just not just like chance it so that you can get both. Because if you chance it in this game, you might end up getting none. Whereas in other games, you might get both. It's not like a lose situation, you know? And another thing is that this game kind of punishes you for winning early. For example, if you get Levitain at like 120 pulls, you really lost. Because if you got in like one of the off-banner limited 5 stars, I mean 6 stars actually, there's 3 ranks in this game, you kind of lost because if you got in that off-banner, you would have gotten a guaranteed at 120, so you kind of lost by winning there. So I can see some frustrations, especially since the pull income isn't the best, I guess. I have noticed that I have pretty much not gotten a single basic pull after the launch events have dried up. So I don't think I'm ever gonna get this selection. Like, it's really never gonna happen. But to be fair, I have most of the characters already. I mean not most, but I have most of the characters that I want already. The only 2 that I might want is Pog and Last Rite, and I still haven't used my selection ticket that they gave for, I don't even remember what reason it was. Where's the inventory? Right here. Like, I can still pick. Like, I can pick one of them up. So I'm not too concerned about that. At least based on my experience. I don't think the gacha has been a problem. And as you can see, I actually pulled Surtur and I have her weapon. And I also got Gilberta. So I've been pretty blessed in this game. And I don't really have a problem with it right now. But I guess, you know, once again, you gotta check, you gotta see how it goes in the future, right? If they don't give enough currency in the future, it could be a problem. But right now, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. You know, because a lot of the mainstream gachas these days, they use the same system, like the 50-50 and like the 90 pulls for pity or whatever. But, you know, back in the days, most gacha games had a spark system where you have to basically pull like 200 or something like that pulls. And then you're guaranteed a copy of that character. And before that, you're pretty much just, you can get whatever. I know Blue Archive does that, Azure Lane, Arknights. I think the original one does that too. But I only played the original for 1 week. And I guess that's another talking point. I do think this game stands up by itself. I never really felt like I was confused or anything because I didn't play the original Arknights. Like, the original Arknights, I played it for 1 week once again. I wasn't really too interested in it because, well, mainly because it was a little hard. It was a tower defense. And I found myself just having to pretty much search up tutorials for the harder content anyway. I mean, maybe because I'm just done and I don't play tower defense, but, you know, I just gave up, I guess. But I digress. But yeah, even having like no really real knowledge of Arknights lore or whatever, I feel like I can thoroughly enjoy the game just how it is right now. Never have I ever felt that I'm missing out because of you know, the lore. Obviously, there's stuff like reconveners, like Levitain is actually Surtur in Arknights or whatever. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, those things, they are things that you have to think about when you jump into this game. Bruh. Well, that's one thing I don't like about the mobile controls. Oh my god, I'm just trying to walk, and I just freaking wasted my ultimate. It's not a good feeling. But yeah, once again, I never really felt like I'm missing out by not knowing Arknights lore. There's obviously reconveners like Levitain, Gilberta, and a bunch of characters, really. I mean, a lot of characters from Rhode Island, the faction Rhode Island are reconveners. And I can see why, you know, people might think that they're gonna miss out, but based on the main story, they're not really that important. Just from the top of my head, I don't think a single reconvener has showed up in the main story. So, you know, I think it's more just fan service, really. Obviously, you know, I think based on the story, it's pretty evident that Talos 2 and, you know, Earth, Terra, they're related. and Rhode Island is obviously a faction in this game, so they're not like completely disconnected, but just based on my experience, I don't think it's going to be a problem for anyone who has not played Arknights to play this game. It's really not that complicated, really. So I'm not too worried. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Recently, they released the new endgame. The endgame monumental etching. So, honestly, this is really easy. Like, as you can see, I got the etched I don't even remember what it, like, achievement? I don't even know what it's called, honestly. I don't know. But it's definitely different. It's also very easy, I would say. I mean, the thing is, right, is that to get the maximum rewards, you only really need to do a super easy challenge. I mean, you have to defeat level 60 enemies. And if you're level 90 or 80, which for level 80, I feel like a lot of people should be at this point, if they started on day 1, of course. It's a walk in the park. Like, they barely do any damage. And I believe you can use your food. Like, dude, I barely know any of the terms. I'm sorry. But I believe you can use those in the game mode. So healing isn't really that necessary, to be honest. Though obviously, if you beat the harder stages, you'll get some, key resources for leveling up your operators, which is helpful because I am honestly still very broke when it comes to credits. It's genuinely just, it's a bottleneck, I'll say. And I don't know if I want to invest too much of my sanity on farming for those right now. So, it can be kind of annoying when you want to bring up characters. But, at the same time, right, if you want to maximize the resources that you're getting from, like, just in terms of the pull resources, it's really not that hard. It really isn't. Oh, I forgot to do the daily shop. Oh, right, the Arsenal tickets. Bro, genuinely, they're so difficult to get because obviously this game does not award you for just pulling on random banners. And yet, they're so expensive, and all for 20 of them. That's not even close. That's not even close to a single pull. Like, genuinely, it's just, I don't know. But to be fair, the battle pass, like the second tier battle pass, is completely free, and they do seem to have some options. I do hope that they update the weapons in the battle pass, just to keep up with the current meta, whatever that would be. But to be fair, once again, like the end game is really easy, so I don't really think it'll be a problem in the future. So, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. The weapon situation, I guess you just need more time. We just need more time to see what happens. But yeah. I mean, but once again, overall, I think this game is quite beautiful, first of all, but it's quite well made, and I see a lot of potential. So all of the things I've mentioned, like, they're not things that I would necessarily. Okay. Inventory is full. I don't really need these things. Okay. Well, but I need to probably stash them in my depot. But I see some potential, that's for sure. As for the artifact or relic equivalent in this game, like the essences, I think, I mean, I don't really have too much feelings about it. I definitely do think that it's less satisfying. I mean, it's just not the same because when you get something that is just perfect in other gacha games, you feel good. But at the same time, I also know like this is just way better because it removes the stress. It removes the luck factor. I mean, it doesn't remove it completely, but you're guaranteed to be able to max it out as long as you farm. So it's more about time or how long it takes for you to basically max out a character rather than how or whether like you'll ever ever max it out. So in that aspect, I do think it's a good thing. I haven't really farmed too much, but I already got like a pretty good essence. I just need to level it up. I don't think like those things, you could probably level up a character like once the game has become more mature and stuff like that. You could just dedicate your resources to leveling up a single character, and you know, you'll probably not be nearly as much of a frustration, you know, like you won't have to worry about wasting your energy or stamina system thing just to get nothing. That's not a concern in this game. But you know, once again, I've been saying this a lot, but it's only 1.0, and even though it has been 3 weeks, so I feel pretty confident about just giving up, like giving some initial impressions, I guess, of this game. We really just can't know which direction this game will follow until, you know, things actually happen in the future and we see how the devs actually manages. Okay, they need to stop doing that. I need my water. Alright, I can show my factory. I mean, my factory, it's not crazy. It's not that crazy. Like, right now, it's clogged up because I have 48,000 like the gold gear components, so it's not working really. It's not really doing anything right now, if you can see. And I'll show you my input and output. So it's 1009. Okay, wait, let me sell some because I don't really have a use for them right now, so I guess I'll just sell to get some money in. Zeronite. So let's see now. Okay. Oh, someone did my jobs and they did horribly at that. Someone turned one of my requests to 70k. Like, genuinely, how can you do so bad? It's like they don't care, bro. And that's one of the things, like, dude, there's literally almost zero benefit. If I wasn't a lazy bum, like, it's just infinitely better to just do this myself. Because, like, if someone messes with you, like, they can really mess with you. And it can get pretty annoying. But let's see my AIC report. Okay, it's still not, it's not up. Let's do some etches, I guess. What do I need to artifice? I don't know. Maybe I'll... It's not the strongest. Main attribute bonus. I guess I'll do this. The link slab. I mean, it is pretty strong. 20% main attribute. So, I guess I'll make a couple of these. And, let's see if anything happens. Okay, nothing happens. Well, isn't that just great? I mean, once again, it's just a matter of time before anything, like, I mean, before you get something that's maxed out, but it can get, it's still frustrating to some extent, but it is what it is. I mean, the end game is so easy at this point that you won't really need to worry about building your characters, really. I feel like you could probably just beat it at level 80, you know, it's not a big deal right now. Though obviously that could change in the future, because I believe there's gonna keep the stages that are released now in the future, so it's not something that refreshes. They're just gonna add more things in the future and not necessarily refresh like other gacha games. But Okay, can I even get up there? How did I use to get that? I don't even know where I'm supposed to go for this. I guess I'll return and check. I mean, whenever the resources are like fully grown back, it's like one of the longer sessions. I mean, I don't know how long this video will take, or how long this video will be, really, not take. But, you know, playing this game, it could easily take up like 30 minutes a day. Obviously, this is only if you're trying to just make the most out of, I guess, the resources, to maximize the resources, but I haven't really seen a need for it right now because Dijon can pretty much grow everything I need, and it's definitely much easier to just get it from there. So if they do the same thing as every other gacha game and they introduce the next 6-star characters in the streams, you can easily prepare for them by just, you know, watching the stream, and you know, hopefully they give out the materials that you need. And if it's not in a new region, you could just make your Dijon pretty much produce only that for like a couple weeks and you'll get enough. Maybe not even a couple weeks, to be honest. Like, I don't think the characters need that many of these resources to actually level up. I don't think leveling up a character is that expensive in this game, or at least ascending a character is not that expensive. Leveling up definitely is. I mean, another thing that I don't really like about this game right now is the fact that for some reason they're separating the XP for level 1 to 60 and level 60 to level 90. Like, there's a higher tier of resources for when you want to level your things to level 90, which I feel is just like that doesn't need to be the case. I don't really know why like they would do that. It doesn't really contribute to anything, and yet that's how they're doing it, I guess. I mean, I don't know how big of a problem that will be in the future, because, you know, I haven't really leveled up a character from 1 to 60 in a while, so I'm not really sure if the smaller resources would be a bottleneck and you gotta go out of your way to farm them, or if it would just be like passively gained, so you can easily have your characters ready for you to play when you get them to level 60 at least. Because if it's that way, I could understand why they would do it, right? Because that's pretty much is a free level 60 character, and if the content is centered around level 60 characters, then that's not a problem. You can pretty much immediately play your favorite characters, favorite operators from the get-go, and you won't have to level them up to level 90 to really get use out of them. So if it is easy to get those lower tier resources for level 1 to level 60, then yeah, that's a good thing. But, you know, once again, it's been a pretty dry patch ever since the release events ended. So can't really account for all of these things right now. So I guess really 1.1 is the patch that people really get a sense of how, you know, whether this is a game worth continuing to support. But I mean, they have done a great job once again. So I have confidence in that they will listen to some player feedbacks. I already know that they're working on some quality of life benefits or updates rather, such as just remotely collecting all of these owl deliveries. Like, that would be a big help, I won't lie. So I am pretty eager to see that happen. I should probably show you my other factory too, just to, you know, real quick. I don't even know how many hours I spent on these factories, but yeah, here's my other one. I understand that there's probably something in here that isn't completely efficient or whatever, but I did it myself, you know, and it feels proud. It feels nice. I feel proud. And it's generating everything I needed to generate. Like, I'm making more than $1 million value $4 a day, just from selling the resources, not even from the stock trading. This is other stuff. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm mostly bottlenecked by ferrium ore in this region. I'm not really getting enough. And I have to make Zeronite batteries. It's not great. It's not the best. But it'll do for now. I mean, I'm not in a hurry to really do anything specific. Okay, I guess they're broke. Stock redistribution. So let's see this one. 324%, 4907. Okay. 4907. Wait, ooh. Okay, I just bought it by accident. 324, 4907, 1157. 4907. 40. So it's a 40 difference, and the price difference is 50. I think this might be better then. The profit is 50 more expensive and 40 more. Okay, you know, this is better. So I guess I'll just sell this. Almost done. So after I do my stock trading, I guess it's time for me to hop off this game. And, you know, just been yapping about my first impressions. It's, well, not really my first impressions. But then again, I mean, I don't know. Just my impressions, I guess. Let me just help my friend out with the degen stuff. Is it even degen? I don't even remember how you pronounce it. Some credits. Okay. Alright, I still need to assign my jobs to other people. People don't really like this one. I mean, they still do it at the end of the day, once in a while, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how they feel so motivated about these transport jobs. It really is just boring, man. Alright. Let's see. Usually this gets done pretty fast. The power plateau one, it's like 300k. I guess that's all done. I have to do my Wuling bond trades. So I guess I gotta switch to Wuling. Oh, also, I guess I didn't really talk about the story. I think, bro, what the heck are these? Like, this is terrible. Why are my markets so freaking expensive right now? Like, this is not good. Whatever, I'll do them tomorrow at this point. But okay. Yeah, what was that about? Right, the story, yes. I think the story, well, the presentation is really amazing. I mean, I feel like the characters are all very, they have a lot of, I mean, they're not just standing still, right? They're moving around. They have facial expressions, and I think the voice acting is pretty good. There are some accents for the characters. I did play a little bit in English, but right now I'm in Japanese. So yeah, I can't really tell the difference, to be honest, for the Japanese, because I'm not Japanese, so I can't be I'm not exactly an authority. But for the English ones, they did actually incorporate a lot of different accents, which is a nice touch. I think Wuthering Wave did this too, and I think, yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the way to go. I feel like in the future, I think more companies, more gacha games should think about, doing something like that. It feels more immersive because, realistically, a whole planet is not gonna have everyone with the same accent. They're gonna have their own language and stuff, and I don't really mind seeing it. You know, I'm not really Anglo or whatever, or American centric, you know. So it's nice to see some, I guess, diversity. It's just nice. It's nice. Some accents really do sound really good, and I would like to hear more about that. But in terms of the story writing, I definitely can see how, you know, there could be more work to be done. Obviously, Valley 4 was, you know, the introduction region, right? So I'm not really going to expect too much in terms of story writing from Valley 4 because, well, most games' first region, they're not exactly the best, right? But for Wuling, I definitely got to say there could be some work. I mean, my concern is that Endmin is just, like, I don't remember her name. I guess it's Fan Yi or something like that. The Viceroy of Wuling City. Like, she and Endmin just went on a date in the middle of a crisis for their city, and I feel like that was just weird. That felt off. And it's just like moments like those, right? Where like you're just doing random like chores. I mean, obviously, this is just a problem with open world adventure RPG games in general. Like you'll have the main character who's like a god slayer or dragon killer or whatever, and then like they're just picking up apples for random NPCs. Like that's just a problem that you see very common in these kind of games. But it's definitely jarring when you're just going on a date, drinking bubble tea, and running around the city when there's a crisis going on. And yeah, I mean, maybe they'll play a role in the story in the future. I'm not Shakespeare, so I can't exactly tell you what to do. But you know, I do think it has potential. Lore-wise, Arknights is a very it's a deep universe, and I see potential. So yeah, I mean, I guess overall my review of this game is that it is a beautifully well polished, well done game with very good execution, and I can see some potential in this being one of the best games on mobile for people who are interested in gacha games or just, you know, the factory mechanic, just things in general. But you know, it's definitely not perfect, and obviously nothing is going to be perfect. And in the future, I hope to see this game become better because I do enjoy this game. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll end the video here since I finished my dailies. It took 37 minutes, which is actually just incredible. But yeah, see you in my next video. I'm not gonna upload that often, but you know, if you are interested in the content that I make, which is just random things, I guess, feel free to subscribe. And yeah, that's it. See ya.